Hi there YouTube, Caitlin here, and today I'm going to show you how to make soy sauce pickled eggs. So to start off with, we have our eggs in a pot of cold water, just enough to barely cover them, and we are going to stick this on medium-high heat, and we are just going to bring this up to a boil first. Okay, so now that the water is boiling, all we're going to do at this point is just move the pot over to the side, take it off the heat, and just leave it there for exactly 10 minutes. Make sure you set a timer, because if you leave the eggs in the water for too long, it'll overcook and they'll be all rubbery, especially once they've been sitting in the marinade. But if you undercook them, they might be a little too soft and it might be a bit harder to peel them. So now that our eggs have sat in hot water for 10 minutes, we are going to stop them from cooking any further by draining them and rinsing them with some cold water. Because you have to remember, the internal heat of the eggs would still continue cooking them if you didn't cool them down quickly. So we're going to give them a good cold water rinse, and I'm just going to rinse out the pot a little bit with some cold water to bring its temperature down. Then I'm just going to put the eggs back in the pot, fill the pot with some cold water, and leave them in the sink to cool down until they're ready to be peeled. While that's happening, we're going to prepare our marinade. So I've got about maybe a teaspoon there of dried ground ginger in the bottom. To that I'm going to add a bay leaf, and for just a little bit of heat, I'm also going to add a few shakes of some cayenne pepper. So the first stage in making the marinades, we're essentially going to make a spiced tea. So I'm going to add some boiling water to about the half-cup mark, and then we're going to let this sit for about a minute, and that'll give the marinade a little bit of a head start on infusing the spices. That way, it won't slow the flavoring process down, because when we add cold liquids later, you get a better flavor base if you add hot liquids, let it infuse, then add your soy sauce and vinegar. So now that that's set for about a minute, we are going to add half a cup of, in my case, I'm adding apple cider vinegar. And because this is soy sauce pickled eggs, I am also going to add about a half a cup of soy sauce. And that's why we also haven't added any salt into this brine. Usually with pickles you would obviously be adding some salt, but there's plenty of salt in the soy sauce already, and we don't want to get the eggs too salty. That's really all there is for the marinade. In the meantime, you're going to want to start getting those eggs peeled and just chuck them in the jar so we're ready to finish this recipe. So here we have our peeled eggs in the jar, and we're just going to pour the marinade over top. And once we do that, just throw on the lid, put it in the fridge at least overnight or for a couple of days. I wouldn't recommend keeping them in the fridge longer than a week, so I would try and make a batch that you're going to use within a week or so. Otherwise, the eggs can get a little bit tough. They'll be still edible, but the texture will be better between a day to a week. So here's the finished product. As you can see, it is dark brown, except for the parts where it's maybe touching the jar or something else. I'm just going to chop this in half with the knife I was using for my salad, but there you have it. See, the marinade started to penetrate the egg. Inside is nice and flavorful. So let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want me to make. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and be sure to subscribe to continue to see more videos. See ya!